Hello YouTube, I am back with a movie review. So, I want to get a few things out of the way before I even begin. Yes, this video is unscripted. I do not make scripts for most of my videos. These are my thoughts after I have seen the movie. It is not straight after the movie, it's about 2, maybe 3 hours. So I'm thinking of it with a clear head looking back rather than just the wow factor. People complain when these videos are unscripted and sometimes my thoughts are not clear. I tell in my videos when these are unscripted. I say they're unscripted just like I am now. I put the fact that it is unscripted in the video description. But nobody reads those. Sorry for that mini rant. I've just gotten a lot of complaints about that. Okay, so I want to tell you a little short story before I talk about the movie itself. Okay, short story. I've seen a lot of movies. I love movies, old, new. So I see a lot of them. A lot of them, I gotta say, I don't see in theaters. Because of the price of movies these days. I don't know, I can't remember the exact price at one of my local theaters here. But I think to see a movie in 3D, I think it's about $13, $14, maybe even $15 for just me. That's insane! So a lot of these movies, I go either rent them, or if I really want to see them, I go see them in 3D. You know, I'll pay the little extra. And some I just go see in the theater, but unfortunately, I have to really be interested to go see it in the theater. So here are the movies I have seen in theaters recently. Iron Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness. And I also recently saw The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey again. I thought The Hobbit was okay. I loved Star Trek Into Darkness, and I thought Iron Man 3 was okay. So the reason I'm bringing this all up is for all these movies, even Star Trek Into Darkness, which I've actually seen twice in theaters, which means I like it. You know, for most of these, I would say it's all down to your opinion, what kind of movie you like. Like, Into Darkness, I'll just say, for example, I like Into Darkness because I'm an original series Star Trek fan. There were a lot of references, and it was a fun Star Trek ride. But with Man of Steel here, I have seen polarizing reviews. Some people absolutely love this movie and everything about it, and it's awesome. And other people are like, I hate this Superman. The CG was terrible. Meh. I live in my mother's basement. Yes. So, you're probably wondering which category I fall into. I fall into the, oh my gosh, this was the best movie I've ever seen in my life. And if you know that reference, good for you. You get a cookie. Okay, this is actually not the best movie I've seen in my life, but this is a really good movie. The reason I want to do this review is to kind of give my opinion, and for you guys who don't like spoilers, I'll give you a short review right now. Liked Henry Cavill as Superman. He did a really good job. Liked Amy Adams as Lois Lane, even though she is not my favorite. That would still be the original Margot Kidder. I hope I said her name right. The Zod in this was good. I mean, the actor was good, and his thing was good, but I gotta say, I prefer the Superman 2 Zod more. Russell Crowe was good as Jor-El. I thought the CG was really well done. I've heard some complaints about it. I didn't really see it. There were only like 2 or 3 spots where I was kind of iffy on it. It is not this is not spoiler territory. This is not the traditional Superman. This is a very Batman Begins reimagining of Superman. It does its own thing, and it does things differently than you've seen them before. So take it or leave it if you like it. But I really thought the movie was good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 9. Possibly an 8.5. The only reason I say that is even though the movie was, I think, 2.5 hours, or maybe 1.5, I don't really know. because I wasn't counting exactly. It just felt a little too short, like, things seemed to be a little rushed, but that's just me. So anyway, that's part of the review is over. Now on to spoilers. Oh, wait, actually, no. Not on to spoilers, because I forgot to mention two good parts. The soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. Oh, yes. That was a fantastic soundtrack. It was atmospheric, and it matched the mood well. And I gotta say, even though I love John Williams' Superman theme, I love the theme to Man of Steel here. And the other thing I want to mention is the cinematography. Some of these shots in this movie were breathtakingly beautiful. I'm a filmmaker, so I'm looking at this from a filmmaker point of view, not maybe a general audience point of view. I'm not sure if I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I did not see this movie in 3D because it would cost way too much. So I saw it in regular 2D. I think there were several shots where I think the 3D would have really helped. And when I get this, the 3D Blu-ray thing, I'm gonna re-review this movie and tell you what I think of it then. So anyway, 9 out of 10, maybe an 8, just because I thought it was a little short, but I feel this movie's good enough for a 9. Okay, now I'm officially doing spoilers. Okay, what did I think about this? Holy man, the destruction! Holy man, the ending fight! Dang, I have not seen destruction on that massive level since a Roland Emmerich movie. Yes, Roland Emmerich is a terrible director, but holy man, the destruction of this movie! I loved it. It was, for the first time ever, even in animated form, I feel like this was a Superman battle. I feel, there was finally weight and power to Superman. And I liked that the villains were also Kryptonian. I thought they were really cool. I'm not sure who the woman or the other guy was. I believe it's Elsa and the silent guy. I can't remember his name, from Superman 2. But I'm not sure of that. I loved the culture of Krypton. For those of you who've seen it, they spend a good chunk of time on Krypton before they send Superman, Kal-El, Clark Kent away. I really liked the culture, and I really liked the design of this movie. The only thing I have to say is it's kind of weird for Superman not to have his trunks. But you know what? I'll roll with it. And I know this is just pointing out parts that I like here, but I'm not going to spoil the story here, even though they have spoilers in them. It's a very Nolan-esque movie with Zack Snyder's direction. Whether you love him or you hate him, the man has a distinct style and makes all the fighting look fantastic. I like that a lot of the time was spent in Smallville instead of Metropolis. I like that the mother, she was very good. I even like Jonathan Kent. He was very good, even though he had a little bit of screen time. I absolutely love Russell Crowe as Jor-El. And that's really hard for me to say, because I loved Marlon Brando. But here, Jor-El has a lot more to do in this film. And, Lois Lane, even picks up a gun and shoots some people. As I said in the non-spoiler part of this review, this is not the Superman we have all known for basically ever, at least for me. However, I love this. It was a reimagining. It did its own thing. And it showed how good it was when DC gave them opportunity to change things and make things better. I know I'm probably not making that much sense, but I just want to tell you the parts of this movie that I really, really liked. Because I don't want to go blow by blow here. Story, blow by blow. Yes, I probably doomed myself to hate comments or some sort of stupid comments. But hey, that means I have more material for my other show, Exposing Haters. Shameless plug, shameless plug. I found out that this script was actually written by someone who I can't remember the name of, and Christopher Nolan. This seems like it's in the same universe as Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I keep hearing the talk about the Justice League movie. I'm like, you've got to do it like the Avengers. You know, just forget that Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. I'm not a fan of the Green Lantern. I thought that movie was okay, but if you really want me to care about him in the Justice League movie, you gotta do a better movie. I thought Green Lantern was just okay. I really hope that Man of Steel gets a trilogy. If not even a saga. I know by the original Superman 4 it started to suck. But you know what? If Twilight gets 4 parts, you know, if Harry Potter goes on so long and then gets whatever, part 1 and the Deathly Hallows part 1 and part 2, give it to Superman. I like the visual style of this. And one thing I like is that in the trailers and everything before, the suit looked very dark. They actually color corrected it for most of the movie, so it looked more like what you'd expect Superman's outfit to look like. And my final spoiler, which is maybe a little Easter egg, there was a trailer, I think it was at Comic-Con, of General Zod saying, "You are not alone. Surrender, Kal-El." That actual trailer was used in the movie, in context. So I think that was a cool little Easter egg, spoiler, whatever thing. That was cool. I really want to see where they take Superman, because at the end of the movie, Superman joins the Daily Planet, and Lois does know that Superman is Clark Kent before he even joins the Daily Planet. And I think, actually, they changed Jimmy Olsen to a woman. That will be interesting. I've heard talks that Lex Luthor will be the villain for the next one. I've heard talks. That doesn't mean anything. But what will Lex do? I mean, the fight between Zod and Superman it was a very, destruction-oriented fight, and they were on an even playing field and everything, and it, what will Lex Luthor do to Superman? I just can't really say at this point. But, I trust them to make a good movie out of that. What was the last thing I want to talk about? Oh, I love the Kryptonian culture. I like their, weird kind of crystal stone. There's a scene where Jor-El's talking to Superman, and he's like, "This is Zod, and this is Krypton." And in the background, they have, this stone crystal moving stuff. I have no idea what the heck it is. And it looks really cool. I mean, it's just visually impressive. Oh, and one thing this Jor-El has over Brando, this Jor-El can kick ass! So, I know I'm rambling, but I just want to tell you that I think this movie is totally worth the price of admission, whether you decide to see it in 3D at full price or 3D at a matinee or just in 2D. I still say it's worth supporting, and let's try to get it as many movies, good movies, let's try to get at least 3, maybe part 1 and part 2. You know what would be really cool? Superman, the death of Superman with Doomsday, and then that could lead into, something. It could lead into the Superman movie, or not the Superman movie, the Justice League. I mean, there are so many possibilities with this. This and Batman, if DC can, scrap the other movies they've done and do what Marvel did with the Avengers, I think you guys will make me a DC fan. I like the DC books. I'm not gonna lie. I like Superman. I like Batman. Kind of like Nightwing. I'm not an avid comic reader, so I haven't read every story. I've read a little bit of the New 52, which I hear isn't great. My biggest exposure to Superman and Batman, beyond the Tim Burton, Nolan movies, for Batman is the animated series, and for Superman, it's the first two Richard Donner's Superman Returns, and the Superman animated series, and then the newest Lego game. So I'm not the biggest Superman fan ever, but I really think this movie is worth it. Sorry for rambling, but thank you for listening to my rambling if you have. Anyway, guys, have a good day.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much. Goodbye.